Well, here we are standing in a farmer's field, and farmers forever have to battle weeds. And not necessarily all of them are alien. A lot of them are indigenous. A lot of weeds invade grasslands and pasture crops, make it impenetrable. And that loses value. You can't carry crops there anymore, or cattle and livestock. The commercial farmer is generally aware. We're going to have a problem if we move to smaller scale farmers who are not aware. That is where we have to create awareness and show them that they have to look after the land that they're going to be given or they inherit. They have to look after it. Those of which a farmer has to struggle are about 60% from elsewhere. And they are common agricultural weeds throughout the world. And that's how they got here over the last few hundred years as contaminants of agricultural crops. The more dangerous they are, the more invasive, the more aggressive the weed is, the more danger it is, and the more it costs to control it. So we can look at bugweed, a category 1 plant growing in sugarcane. The farmers have a real problem. It's taking over, it competes with the sugarcane. And it is a problem to control, and it's reducing its yields. But sugarcane is usually a large-scale commercial crop. There are a lot of others that be minor intrusions onto pasture lands. A lot of them are intrusive into the mealie crops. A lot of them would have to be fought with herbicides. But you take a simple example like cosmos. It doesn't flower this time of year. But the farmers of Lesotho, that's their principal weed, cosmos. They only have donkeys and themselves to pull it out. And it is very difficult to pull out. They don't have herbicides, that's what they fight. And yet the gardeners elsewhere in parts of the country think this is a beautiful garden plant. So we have to become aware of the problems we can cause with our beautiful garden plants, and the farmers in Lesotho have to also be aware of how to control it by hand. They don't have chemicals. That is very often a conflict of interest. And it happens right the way down to the most common farm, is that there are weeds in his lands that are popular garden plants that have been here a long time, and that can be encouraged if you don't do things properly. Large-scale commercial farmers know what they're doing. They've worked on it for years, and it's a matter of profit and loss. They understand the roles of the weeds in their agriculture. They may not be fully aware of exactly what they all are, and that is possibly a part of a problem. They need to be made more and more aware of what the weeds are, but they know how to control the weeds. They know that some of their tillage practices will alter and affect the range of weeds they have, and they learn to handle that. They generally look after their water and rivers. They generally keep the aliens out. The general public is probably less aware, and they often say, oh, that plant is beautiful, we must look after that, not realizing the effect it can have on farmers and the quality of their land.